everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, here today to film a tag video. And this is a tag that I was tagged in way back last summer by Jen at Remembered Reads. And it is the Bookish Boxes and Buzzwords tag, which was originally created by Elizabeth at LizzieFayeLovesBooks. And this is a great tag that's sort of general in nature and it allows me to talk about lots of books that I love, so it's awesome. And thank you to Jen for tagging me, and sorry that it's taken me so long to get to it. But I am trying to catch up on my tag videos, so this is just another step in the right direction. So let's just get to it. The first question is, what is your go-to genre or favorite type of book? And obviously, for any of you who have been watching my channel for any length of time will know that the answer to this is nonfiction. I like all kinds of nonfiction. I read widely throughout the whole genre, and many nonfiction books will feature in the rest of these questions. Question 2, what type of retellings are you drawn to? I'm not drawn in particular to a lot of retellings. I will read retellings if they're good and I'm enjoying them, but ones that I have found that I've enjoyed consistently are retellings of Jane Austen novels. One in particular that I really loved was Long Burn by Jo Baker, which was a retelling of Pride and Prejudice from the point of view of the servants of both Lizzie Bennet's family and also the other families in the story. And that is a really, really great novel. Question 3, what lifestyles or careers of book characters are you drawn to? So for me, that's scientists or any people that work sort of in a nature-based occupation. For example, I loved Lab Girl by Hope Jahren, which I've talked about many times on this channel, this is a nonfiction memoir about a woman scientist who it's all about her, how she got started in her career and building her own lab and her relationship with her lab partner. And it's just a lovely and engaging memoir that takes you through all kinds of different emotions. I loved it. Another one that I truly enjoyed was The Forest Unseen by David George Haskell, which is this guy's observations of a meter square area of the forest throughout all seasons of the year in Tennessee. Lovely writing, lots of nature, lots of digressions into animals that he observes, plants that he observes, different scientific theories and processes. Just loved this book as well. I also love characters who are scientists or work in nature in my fiction as well, and you'll see lots of my fiction that I talk about on this channel has those kind of characters as well. Let's see. Places or settings that I'm drawn to. Recently, I've been drawn a lot to immigrant narratives and also narratives that take place in on the African continent. So you all know that I've become fascinated with the area of the Congo and Rwanda and that sort of area from reading We Regret to Inform You That Tomorrow We Will Be Killed with Our Families, which was a nonfiction book all about the Rwandan genocide. And I have some other books on my TBR that have to deal with that part of Africa. I've also been reading books set in South Africa. I love books by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, which are set in Nigeria. So I've been really fascinated with books set in the African continent recently. Relationships that I enjoy reading about. So I am a sucker for a romantic relationship in all kinds of genres, not just romance novels, but in any of my fiction, I like a nice little romance in there. But I also really enjoy a sibling relationship. I recently read My Sister the Serial Killer. I love the sibling relationship between the two main female characters in that novel. And then in romance, a lot of times you'll get a series of books that are about siblings or something like that. Nora Roberts, well known for that, and I particularly love this trilogy. It takes place in Chesapeake Bay in Maryland, and it is about 3 brothers all of whom find their own romantic relationship in each of the books, but the relationship between the 3 brothers is just absolutely delightful in this series. And Nora Roberts is, I mean, she is a well-known, prolific writer of romance and other things, romantic suspense, but she can write sibling relationships really, really well. I think she really captures that kind of relationship very well in her books. So those are some relationships that I enjoy reading about. Question 6 is, what are some buzzwords in the titles of books that you're drawn to? So I noticed, I did a little look through my TBR, and I realized that pilgrimage or travels really draws me in. So for example, I have The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry by Rachel Joyce on my TBR. I have Travels with Charlie by John Steinbeck. And I also have In a Sunburned Country by Bill Bryson, which is another travel narrative which takes place in Australia. So you can see that I like a good travel narrative in my books. I like that that road trip or long journey narrative in fantasy as well. That's definitely a trope that I enjoy. Question 7, things on book covers that draw you in. So clearly, you know, I'm going to say trees draw me in. This is a book I just picked up last week in a Goodwill shop for $1. This is Letters from Yellowstone by Diane Smith. It says on here that it was the winner of the Pacific Northwest Booksellers Association Book Award for Fiction, and it's a fiction book about Yellowstone. But look at that cover. That's a photograph, I assume, of Yellowstone with the trees and the lake and everything. I love it. Here's another one I just picked up from the library yesterday. This is The Song of Trees, Stories from Nature's Great Connectors by David George Haskell. Another book by David George Haskell. Look at that tree on the cover. Gorgeous. So I'm a sucker for a tree on the cover or a nature scene of some kind I really love. And I will gravitate towards that. Question 8 is nonfiction buzzwords or types of nonfiction that you like. Obviously, I like science nonfiction or nature-related nonfiction. I also like political nonfiction, especially social justice type issues. Like I said, I've been reading a lot about immigration in the last year or more. I've been reading a lot about other political issues that seem to be taking over our country here in the United States, of books that are about the Trump presidency, books that are about Obama's presidency, those sorts of things. And then also, I am a sucker for a subtitle in nonfiction. So I have this on my TBR, Every Man in This Village is a Liar, An Education in War by Megan Stack. That's a nice subtitle for you. I also have this one, Complications, A Surgeon's Notes on an Imperfect Science by Atul Gawande, which you guys know I love Atul Gawande. I've read 2 of his books so far, and this one was a finalist for the National Book Award when it was published. So can't resist a nice long subtitle in my nonfiction. Question 9. What are some medical or physical conditions of characters that draw you in? I find myself being very drawn to neurodiverse characters in my fiction, especially I've read some very good ones in the sort of romantic comedy genre. Last year I read The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. I'll have to put the name up here because I can't remember the author's name on that one. I also read The Rosie Project by Graham Simpson, both of which had main characters who were on the autism spectrum, I believe. So I enjoy a book with a neurodiverse character. I love The Big Bang Theory on television, so I like that sort of comedic, but also giving you insights into that way of thinking I really enjoy. Question 10, time of year, time in history, or future you are drawn to. I really do like the near future setting, which you will know because I keep talking about the J.D. Robb books, which are police procedurals set in the very near future. I love those. I like any science fiction that sort of takes place in the like within 100 years of our current time period. I also really like a lot of historical time periods. I really like the Victorian era, and I really like the Regency period, especially in my romance novels. I really love a good Regency romance. I love Georgette Heyer, and authors like that. I love Sarah MacLean, and Courtney Milan, and authors like that. So definitely love those time periods. Bonus question number 1. Other bookish boxes or buzzwords. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I feel like I've gone over many that I enjoy, and there aren't any other ones that are ringing bells for me. And then bonus question 2, what bookish boxes or buzzwords turn you away from a book? So right now I am very turned off of the whole girl on a whatever or girl on whatever. Anything with girl in the title, especially if it's a suspense novel right now, I'm just like rolling my eyes hardcore. I really hate that publishing seems to like get on a kick with either a cover style or a title style, and then they just like name everything the same so that you're constantly getting book titles messed up or mixed up, or you know, every book cover looks the same. I just hate that. So right now, those are some bookish buzzwords that I am not at all interested in. So this is a really fun tag. Thank you again to Jen for tagging me. I really enjoyed putting together my answers to those questions. It is a really old tag, but I'm still going to tag a few of my friends in this because I think it is fun, and it's a good way to talk about some books on your shelves that perhaps you haven't had a chance to talk about in a while. So I would like to tag Roz from Journey Through Books. I would like to tag Debbie at A Book Ponderer. I would like to tag Doris over at Aldi Books. I would like to tag Sean at Sean the Book Maniac, and I would like to tag Alba at Seriella. And I will link all of their channels down below. I hope you're all having a wonderful day and finding great books to read, and I will talk with you later.